haven't introduced you yet. Get up.
Oh, we love you.
All right, we have 2 final speeches for the evening. But before I introduce them, I want to give a little background. So I am not what you would call a humble man. And I think a big reason for that is because I grew up with an older brother who is genuinely one of the most frustratingly nice, gregarious people I've ever met. And don't clap for him. And he's what you call a gentle soul, right? So as a younger brother, usually you get the experience of being what is called roasted by your older brother when you step out of line, when you say something that you shouldn't, when you are not as humble as you should be. And I've learned that while I never had that, Ben has always been kept humble. And the reason that Ben has been kept humble is because of our next 2 speeches, who are some of the dirtiest roasters I have ever met. They are some of the quickest witted and genuinely meanest people I've ever met. Please welcome to the stage Taylor and Margo.
Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know who we are or why we are delivering a really weird joint speech, allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Taylor. My name is Margo. And together with Ben, we make up a group that we like to call the Gang. The Gang. So the origin of the Gang goes back to 2014. We all met while starting our careers together at Deloitte. Margo was the first of us to befriend Ben. And this is actually one of my favorite stories ever, so I'm going to tell it so that Margo doesn't lie, as this story is extremely embarrassing for her. So Ben and Margo met on their internship with Deloitte. And right before we all started full-time, Ben reached out to Margo on Facebook, and he asked if she would be interested in going to a museum together to catch up before their first day. Well, at this time, Margo did not yet know that Ben was gay. And she believed him to be asking her on a date. The best part of this story is that she said yes! And this is something we still give Margo a hard time about to this day, 8 years later. Whatever. Remember, I'm still out of your league, Ben. So after this date, it didn't take long for Ben and I to become good friends. We would soon welcome Taylor into our friend group, where we would all bond over our intense hatred of our job. From there, our gang was formed. As a group, we don't have many rules, but the rules are very strict. Rule number 1, we're always mean to each other. It comes in many forms, but it includes giving rude gifts to each other on holidays and birthdays. For example, Ben on multiple occasions just mails us trash. So we get a card in the mail and it's full of garbage. Or he'll send a simple text to say, I hope you have a horrible day today. This rule is the most controversial, and has received a lot of mixed reactions, a lot from John. But it's the most important, and we would not be the gang without this rule. Alright, rule number 2, our only other rule, is that no significant others are allowed to join the gang. This one is not as controversial because none of them want to. That's it. Those are all the rules you need to know about the gang. Okay, now that we've explained the reason for this joint speech, we thought we'd share one of our favorite experiences with Ben. One of the best memories we've ever had as the gang is a trip that we took together to Sweden, Poland, Slovakia, and Estonia. So I'm really impressed you remember these countries because she told people we were going to Switzerland. And
She didn't know we were going to Sweden until the plane landed.
Hey now, anyone here that knows Ben knows that he is a very intense and detailed planner. So I would say if someone is sending you Google Docs of your very detailed itinerary, it's okay to sit back and enjoy the ride.
You definitely did.
Alright, so anyways, there are so many Ben stories that we have and love to tell, but we thought of one that we felt describes Ben and our relationship with him really well, and it happened on this trip.
So this story can also be used as advice for dealing with Ben, because I'm sure everyone in this room could use that at some point. So while we were in Sweden, Ben was very go, go, go. That's his personality. I'm sure everyone's aware of this.
So Margo and I love to explore, but we also like to work in some breaks for some coffee and have a drink while we travel. We very quickly learned this is not in Ben's comfort zone.
Every time we would stop, his leg would just start shaking. And he would start planning our next outing and asking us if we were ready to head out.
So during this time in Sweden, we learned of something called fika, which is basically coffee and gossip among friends.
So fika is a huge deal in Sweden, and they have mandatory fika breaks at work. So once Ben discovered this, everything changed. So we weren't stopping for coffee and a break. We were having a cultural experience. So Taylor and I quickly learned when we wanted him to settle down, Ben, let's fika.
So just remember, if you ever want Ben to chill out, which I'm sure most people in this room can relate to at one point or another, just tell him, hey, let's take a fika.
Still true.
So while we have a lot more we could talk about with Ben, we want to spend some time talking about John.
Okay, that's right. Funny enough, Ben and John were first dating while we were on this international trip together as the gang. And Margo and I got to see firsthand the dorky smile that lit up Ben's face when he received a text from this mysterious John person.
So it was pretty apparent from earlier on that John was going to be significant in your life. We had never seen you this excited before, let alone texting on your phone in the middle of cultural experiences. So we're really happy for you, but we wondered, could he fit into your energetic lifestyle?
So not long after our gang trip, I took a trip to Chicago to meet John in person for the very first time. I was not only surprised, but thrilled to understand that John was not this person with chaotic go, go, go Ben energy that I expected. He was actually so chill. He was so nice. He was so easy to talk to. And he fit perfectly together with Ben's life. And that, to me, was incredible. We just couldn't believe Ben actually found someone that could fit into his energy and his lifestyle.
So I remember Taylor giving me the details on John and being so excited to meet you. In the meantime, we had our Zoom game nights, we had our text threads, we bonded over our love of Real Housewives, all of them. And later, Taylor and I traveled to Chicago together, where I got you to meet you for the first time. So we all had a lot of fun together on this trip, and it was really obvious how much you guys loved each other. In fact, John is such a sweet and genuine person and loves Ben so much that he really disliked how mean we were to them.
Yes, John has never been the biggest fan of that aspect of gang culture. He even became so bothered by it. He became so bothered by it. On the first trip, he asked the three of us to share all the reasons we love each other. I think it was to convince himself that we do. And this is not gang protocol. But John, because it's your wedding day, or tomorrow's your wedding day, we're going to break gang protocol for you one more time.
And don't ever expect this again.
Ben, we love you. You truly are such an incredible friend, and we're both so happy to see you this happy and in love with your soulmate. Although we prefer to be mean to each other 99% of the time, you were always there for us in moments of need. Just a couple weeks ago, I lost a grandparent, and Ben was right there for me and so supportive. We had a gang FaceTime call after I said my goodbyes, and I cried to them both, receiving the most amazing support and response.
So that's the beauty of the gang. We've been through so much together the last 8 years, and although mean is our brand, we're still always there for each other.
The best part is right after he sent me a text to wish me a horrible day.
But Ben and John, we love you both. We're so happy and honored that we were asked to be here today to celebrate your love.
We hope you share a wonderful life together and can't wait to make even more memories with you both. And for anyone who wants more Ben stories, including the embarrassing ones we could not put in a speech, come find us at the reception.
So here's to y'all. Cheers.
To Ben and John!
We don't hug either.
Another round of applause for Margo. And who would have thought at this gay Jewish wedding we would have learned so much about gang culture from two white girls from Dallas. Thank you for teaching us all about gang protocol, Margo. So to close out, that was awesome. So to close out, some and direct quote from John and Ben for tomorrow. The doors open at 5 o'clock and the ceremony will start promptly at 5:15. Don't be late, sassy face. Mostly goes for me, so I don't know why I'm reading that. I'm the only problem here. Okay, so thank you again. A round of applause for everyone from the usher, the groom's party, the gay speakers tonight. The bar is going to be open until 9 o'clock, the venue until 9:30. So schmooze, have a good time, get to know each other, and another round of applause for Ben and John. We love you guys so